Hi, welcome to MovieNest. With the new season of Wednesday just around the corner, this is the perfect time to revisit Season 1 and refresh your memory. The story begins with Wednesday Addams, a sharp, dark, and mysterious 15-year-old. On her very first day at school, she finds her brother, Pugsley, tied up inside a locker. Without hesitation, she frees him and demands, "I want names." Pugsley is too scared to speak, but Wednesday suddenly has a chilling vision. She sees exactly who bullied him. Determined to teach them a lesson, she shows up at the swimming pool with 2 bags full of piranhas. Dropping them into the water, she declares, "The only person who gets to torture my brother is me." Chaos erupts as the bullies flee in terror, while Wednesday watches with a cold smile of satisfaction. Of course, this doesn't sit well with her parents, Morticia and Gomez. After yet another scandal, they decide to send her to Nevermore Academy, a school for outcasts with supernatural abilities. Both Morticia and Gomez are alumni, and they believe this is the best place for Wednesday to fit in. But Wednesday, being who she is, has no intention of staying quietly. Meanwhile, in the woods near Nevermore, a mysterious creature brutally attacks a hiker. The local sheriff finds his body and suspects these murders are somehow tied to the academy. When Wednesday arrives at Nevermore, she meets the strict principal, Larissa Weems, who, coincidentally, was once her mother's roommate. She's assigned to share a dorm with Enid Sinclair, a bubbly, colorful werewolf who's the complete opposite of Wednesday. While Enid decorates her side of the room with bright rainbows, Wednesday claims her half with shadows and gothic charm. Soon after, Enid introduces her to the school cliques, vampires, werewolves, gorgons, and sirens. Among them is Bianca Barkley, the most popular girl in school, and her ex-boyfriend Xavier, whose strange gift allows his drawings to come alive. From the very start, Wednesday is pulled into Nevermore's drama, rivalries, and dark secrets. But as she tries to adjust, strange events unfold, a string of mysterious deaths, cryptic visions, and even assassination attempts against her. One thing is certain, Wednesday won't just be another student here. She's destined to uncover the truth hidden deep within Nevermore's shadows. At the Harvest Fair, Wednesday crosses paths with the same bullies from earlier. They mock her, bragging about Pilgrim World. One even shouts, "My dad owns the place." Wednesday replies coldly, "If the buckled shoe fits." When they try to attack her, she doesn't even flinch. Using sharp kung fu moves, taught by her uncle, who spent 5 years in a Tibetan monastery, as a prisoner, not a monk, she takes them down with ease. The sheriff soon arrives, shocked to see that this little girl has managed to defeat 3 grown boys. Principal Weems and Wednesday's therapist show up too, both furious with her behavior. But when the sheriff realizes her last name is Addams, his attention shifts. "Gomez Addams your father? He belongs behind bars," he mutters, promising to keep a close eye on her. On the drive back to Nevermore, Wednesday witnesses a car crash, the same accident she had foreseen earlier in her vision. The driver is already dead. Later that night, she sits on her balcony under the full moon, playing a haunting melody on her cello. The sound carries across the campus, mingling with the distant howls of werewolves. Enid admits she can't join in. She's never been able to wolf out. Her family calls her a late bloomer, but deep down, she fears she may never transform. Wednesday, as usual, offers no comfort. "We all die alone." Despite their differences, Wednesday asks Enid for help with her escape plans. Enid reluctantly agrees to teach her how to use a computer. Meanwhile, Thane sneaks into Tyler's room, terrifying him at first, but eventually convincing him to call Wednesday. Through a secret video chat, Wednesday arranges to meet Tyler at the Harvest Festival again. He even brings her a stolen police file on her father, something that surprises her, since she's not used to people actually helping her. But before she can leave, the bullies return. Wednesday and Tyler try to escape, only for her to bump into Rowan. Suddenly, she has another vision, this time of Rowan being violently killed. She chases him into the woods to warn him, but instead of listening, he turns on her. Using telekinesis, Rowan pins her against a tree and reveals the truth. His mother, a powerful seer, once had a vision that Wednesday would destroy Nevermore. Believing it's his duty to stop her, he tries to kill her. Just as Rowan is about to finish her, a massive, monstrous creature charges out of the woods and rips him apart before vanishing into the night. Shaken, Wednesday finds Rowan's body, and the drawing his mother left behind, which shows Wednesday at the center of Nevermore's destruction. Later, the police search the woods but find nothing. Strangely, Rowan's body has disappeared. Even more shocking, the next day Rowan shows up alive and well. The principal begins to suspect Wednesday has psychic visions, just like her mother. She warns her that visions can be dangerous and unreliable, often driving people to madness. To keep Wednesday distracted, she forces her into extracurricular activities. Wednesday, of course, isn't thrilled. "I'd prefer to remain sharp-edged." Sensing that something is being hidden, Wednesday sends Thing to keep watch on Rowan. When she finally confronts him, Rowan acts completely confused. He denies everything about the attack and the strange drawing, brushing her off as if nothing ever happened. Suspicious, Wednesday orders Thing to follow him, but at the train station, Rowan sneaks away into a restroom and changes his appearance into an old man. Thing, unfortunately, misses the transformation. Later, it's revealed that this old man was actually Principal Weems. Meanwhile, tensions rise with Thing. After scolding him for losing Rowan, Wednesday's harsh words make him sulk. Enid steps in and tells her to apologize. Later, Enid agrees to cover for Wednesday at Beekeeping Club so she can sneak into the woods. While searching the crime scene, Tyler finds her and hides her from the sheriff's bloodhounds using coffee grounds to mask her scent. She confides in him about Rowan's attack and the monster that saved her. Then, she stumbles across Rowan's glasses, and another vision hits her. She sees the purple book where the drawing came from, and learns Rowan really did try to kill her by dropping the gargoyle. Following the vision, Wednesday searches the conservatory for clues. There, she speaks with Ms. Thornhill, who tells her the book once belonged to a secret student society called the Nightshades, long since disbanded. They bond briefly over feeling like outsiders. Thornhill is a normie teacher, and Wednesday is someone too odd for either world. That night, Wednesday sneaks into Rowan's room. While Xavier is in the shower, she digs around and finds a strange mask under his bed. Before she can leave, Xavier is interrupted by Bianca at the door. Wednesday hides and listens as the two argue. Their breakup, it turns out, wasn't simple. Bianca once used her siren powers on him, and Xavier never forgave her. He believes their entire relationship was manipulated. Now, Bianca suspects he's drawn to Wednesday, which only fuels her jealousy. Before leaving, she reveals that she's already taken shady steps to make sure her team wins the upcoming Po-Cup race. As soon as Wednesday gets back to her room, Enid fills her in on the drama. One of their teammates, a vampire, made the mistake of eating garlic bread at dinner, but Wednesday quickly suspects it wasn't an accident. She's sure Bianca is behind it, and if humiliating Bianca means stepping in, she's more than happy to help. Enid is shocked but touched. "You're joining the Black Cats, for me?" she asks. Wednesday, of course, makes it sound less sentimental. The next day, the teams gear up for the big competition. The rules are simple: row across the lake, grab your team's flag from Crackstone's crypt, and get back before anyone sinks you. But Bianca has an edge. She's a siren, and her powers in the water make her nearly unbeatable. The race begins, and as expected, Bianca's crew plays dirty. A merman ally of hers sabotages another team's boat, but Wednesday and Enid are ready. With Thing's help, they trap the merman in a net. Then Enid slyly takes out the Gorgon team with her werewolf claws. At the crypt, Wednesday grabs the flag, only to be hit with another vision. She sees a blonde version of herself holding a mysterious book and calling her the key. Confused, she snaps back just in time to see Bianca pulling ahead. But Enid, channeling Wednesday's boldness, keeps fighting. Thing proves to be a surprisingly good swimmer, taking the merman out for good. Finally, Wednesday rams Bianca's boat with spears and sinks her, securing a victory for the Black Cats, the first non-siren win in 40 years. Later, the winners are honored by Principal Weems, who hands Enid the Po-Cup trophy. Wednesday, however, slips away to the Edgar Allan Poe statue, where she discovers a strange symbol carved beneath the stone book, the same symbol from Rowan's drawing. Curiosity takes over, and that night she returns to solve the riddles etched into the statue. After a series of clever clues, she snaps her fingers twice, and a secret passage opens. Inside, she finds photos of her parents as students, revealing they were once part of a secret society. She also recovers Rowan's missing book, but before she can dig deeper, a black sack is thrown over her head. When it's removed, she's surrounded by Bianca, Xavier, and other students, members of the Reformed Nightshades Club. They're shocked she solved their riddles. Xavier argues she should be allowed to join, but Bianca refuses. Wednesday doesn't waste time. She frees herself, mocks their amateur kidnapping skills, and walks out without a second thought. The next day, Principal Weems announces Outreach Day, when Nevermore students must spend time with the locals of Jericho. Much to Wednesday's annoyance, Weems volunteers her to play cello with the town's high school band. The students are greeted by the dramatic Mistress Arlene, who introduces herself as a true colonist and orders them to silence their phones. Wednesday tries to volunteer at the meeting house where Crackstone's relics are stored, but Arlene blocks her, assigning her and Eugene to Old Fudgery instead. Forced into ridiculous uniforms, they're told to hand out fudge to tourists. Meanwhile, Enid and Ajax are stuck brushing taxidermy rodents at an antique shop. Enid drops every hint possible, trying to get Ajax to ask her out, but he's too nervous about accidentally stoning someone. Frustrated, She finally blurts it out herself. Ajax, oblivious, finally agrees to meet her that night behind the greenhouse. Back at the fudgery, Eugene sneaks some fudge and ends up getting bullied by the mayor's son and his gang. Just as things get ugly, Wednesday steps in. She breaks one boy's fingers and locks him in the stocks, leaving the rest scrambling. Eugene is amazed. Nobody's ever stood up for him before. Wednesday admits he reminds her of her brother, only less annoying, and together they sneak into the meeting house. Inside, Wednesday finds a painting of the same blonde girl from her vision, holding the mysterious black book. Shockingly, the book itself is there, but when she opens it, the pages are blank. Mistress Arlene catches her, revealing the real book was stolen a month ago. She also admits she doesn't know the true location of the original meeting house. Wednesday later meets Xavier at the cafe, where he warns her again not to trust Tyler. She ignores him and calls Tyler anyway. Tyler tells her the ruins of Crackstone's meeting house are hidden deep in the woods, and offers to take her there. Xavier overhears, clearly jealous. That afternoon, Wednesday and Thing explore the woods and eventually find the ruins. They also run into the homeless man who earlier stole a camera. Wednesday orders Thing to attack, and the terrified man flees. Inside the ruins, Thing urges Wednesday to touch objects, hoping to trigger one of her visions. At first, nothing happens, until she brushes her hand against the door. This time, the vision hits her harder than ever before, so powerful, it completely pulls her in. Wednesday suddenly finds herself transported 400 years into the past. In front of her, the same blonde girl from her earlier visions is being accused of witchcraft. Villagers call her the devil's spawn, and their leader, Joseph Crackstone, steps forward, naming her Goody Addams. Goody fights back with fire in her voice, accusing the pilgrims of stealing their land, slaughtering innocents, and destroying their way of life. When Crackstone calls for her death, Goody slashes his face with a hidden knife. Furious, he throws her into a barn filled with chained outcasts, among them, her own mother. The barn is set ablaze. Goody desperately tries to free her mother, but she refuses, urging Goody to escape and live. Through tears, she calls her daughter the only hope for revenge. Forced to run, Goody slips out through a trapdoor as Wednesday watches the tragedy unfold from inside the vision. Outside in the woods, Goody warns Wednesday that Crackstone won't stop until every outcast is dead. Suddenly, Crackstone himself appears, and Wednesday jolts awake, shaken. She explains the vision to Thing, but before they can process it, the monster that killed Rowan appears in the shadows. Wednesday chases it through the rain, only to watch its clawed footprints morph into human ones. Shocked, she realizes the monster is a person. Xavier shows up, claiming he followed her and admits she might have been right about Rowan after all. Later, Wednesday takes her anger out on Crackstone's statue. While the town celebrates a new monument in his honor, she secretly orders Thing to fill the fountain with gasoline. As the mayor speaks, she plays her cello with a wicked grin, right as the statue goes up in flames. The crowd screams, but Wednesday never misses a note. Principal Weems notices her smirk and immediately knows who's behind the chaos. Determined to find answers, Wednesday sneaks into the coroner's office with Thing. She inspects the homeless man's body and notices something disturbing. His foot is missing, cleanly removed with surgical precision. One by one, she connects the dots. Every victim is being harvested for different body parts. The killer's pattern is finally clear. These aren't random murders. Each victim's organ is missing, like twisted trophies. Whoever's behind this knows exactly what they're doing. Enid is thrilled when she finds out Wednesday's going to the dance, and immediately drags her shopping. But Wednesday's real focus is elsewhere. At the sheriff's office, she shows him Xavier's drawings, pushing him to team up. When the sketches line up perfectly with a photo of the creature, he starts to believe her. Still, he warns, "Bring me real evidence." As the Raven approaches, Wednesday juggles suspects, lies, and strained friendships. Tyler admits his feelings, but she turns him down. Eugene, ever hopeful, just wants Enid to notice him. And beneath all the chaos, Wednesday follows the trail, from Xavier's bloody rags, to a monster's claw, to the cave where it all connects. But suspicion cuts both ways. When Xavier realizes she only invited him to the dance to cover her snooping, he explodes. Furious, he throws her out, and Wednesday is once again left standing alone. Tyler suddenly shows up at Wednesday's door, holding a gift. Turns out, Things secretly send him an invitation to the dance on her behalf. At first, Wednesday is annoyed, but her mood changes when she sees the stunning black gown he brought. When she steps out wearing it, Tyler is left speechless. But not everyone is happy. Eugene feels let down when Wednesday cancels their plans to investigate. She reassures him they'll continue tomorrow and warns him not to go into the woods alone. Sadly, Eugene ignores her and sets off by himself. At the dance, Enid tries to impress Ajax with her new date, but she's surprised when the mayor's son actually connects with her, bonding over hockey and kung fu movies. Still, his friends are out for revenge over the destroyed Crackstone statue. Then Wednesday takes the floor, shocking everyone with her iconic, goth-inspired dance. Her bizarre yet mesmerizing moves capture the entire room. From afar, Xavier asks Bianca to use her siren powers to help him forget her, an irony not lost on Bianca. Meanwhile in the woods, Eugene investigates a cave, only to be ambushed by a shadowy figure who sets it on fire. He runs for his life. Back at the dance, Lucas's friends connect the hose to the sprinklers, drenching everyone in red liquid. Panic breaks out, but Wednesday tastes it and scoffs. It's just paint, not blood. Suddenly, she's hit with a terrifying vision of Eugene being attacked. She rushes out, but arrives too late. The monster has already mauled him. While chaos unfolds, Enid learns that Ajax never ghosted her. He accidentally stoned himself with his own snakes. The story then flashes back 32 years. During a stormy night at Nevermore, young Gomez is accused of murder. Sheriff Walker drags him away in handcuffs as Morticia looks on, falling even more in love with him in that moment. Back in the present, it's parents' weekend at Nevermore. Gomez, Morticia, Pugsley, and Lurch arrive in style. Enid faces judgment from her mother for failing to wolf out, while Bianca has her own family troubles. Her estranged mother, leader of the manipulative cult Morning Song, suddenly appears, reminding Bianca of the life she fought so hard to escape. Bianca insists she isn't here to fight Brandy Jane. She's trying to start fresh, new name, new life. But her mother has found her. She warns Bianca that her siren powers are fading, recruitment is slipping, and dangerous people are starting to ask questions. She demands that Bianca leave school and return home to fix the mess. Bianca refuses. She doesn't want to see another Morning Song bracelet in town. Her mother threatens to expose her, reminding her that she used her powers to get into Nevermore. Bianca pushes back, saying she finally built something of her own, and her mother just scams people under the illusion of belonging. With no choice, Bianca agrees to help, but only after the school year ends. Her mother warns her not to run again. Bianca promises she won't, but only because this time, they both have too much to lose. Meanwhile, Morticia flips through Lys's yearbook and notices something strange. Her own picture is missing. She remembers performing with Lys at a talent show, trading polite but sharp compliments. Old rivalries clearly still linger. Lyssa then informs the Addams family that Wednesday's therapist wants a group session. They reluctantly agree. At the same time, Sheriff Galpin waits for DNA results from the monster's claw. He watches the Addams family pull up in their black car, frustration written all over his face. Before he can think too much about it, a call comes in. The town's coroner, Dr. Anwar, has taken his own life. The Addams family later joins Dr. Valerie Kinbot for therapy. Pugsley admits he misses Wednesday. Gomez and Morticia do too. But Wednesday doesn't want family bonding. She wants answers. She pulls out her father's old police file and demands the truth about Garrett Gates. Her parents try to shut it down, but she storms off, determined to uncover it herself. Visiting Eugene in the hospital, Wednesday leaves him honey from her hive, guilt heavy on her shoulders. His mothers thank her, saying Eugene never had a real friend before her. Still restless, Wednesday follows Morticia to a graveyard and watches her leave a rose stem on a tombstone. The name, Garrett Gates. That same night, Sheriff Galpin investigates the coroner's death. The surveillance camera was tampered with, and the note he left behind is shocking. He admits to forging documents in the Garrett Gates case 30 years ago. It's enough evidence for Galpin to storm into Nevermore and arrest Gomez in front of his family. Wednesday visits her father in jail, demanding the truth. Finally, Gomez confesses. Garrett Gates had been obsessed with Morticia. He mistook her kindness for affection, stalked her, and even attacked Gomez the night of the Raven Dance. In the fight, Garrett impaled himself on his own sword. But Wednesday notices something off. Gomez comforts her with his familiar wink and smooths his mustache. Little tells she knows too well. He's still hiding something. When she confronts Sheriff Galpin, he insists Gomez is guilty, not only of Garrett's death but of indirectly destroying the entire Gates family. The Gates family tragedy weighs heavily on Wednesday. His mother hung herself, his father drank himself to an early grave, and even his sister drowned overseas. Every last one of them is gone. Later, Wednesday finds Pugsley sitting alone on a dock. She brings his fishing gear and a bag of F1 grenades. "Come on, let's see if the fish are biting," she quips. As they fish, she tells him Gomez will lose his mind being apart from Morticia. Pugsley assures her, if anyone can prove their dad's innocence, it's her. Meanwhile, Enid faces pressure from her mother to attend a lycanthrope conversion summer camp, a place designed to force her transformation. Enid refuses, determined to come into her own on her own terms. Back at Nevermore, Morticia works in the hidden library of the Nightshades. Wednesday walks in, and Morticia assumes she's a member. But Wednesday corrects her. she rejected them. Why? Morticia asks. Because everything about them is a trivial social club. I've tried to live in your shadow. I won the Poke Cup, joined fencing, competed, but I'll never live up to you, Wednesday explains. Morticia then shares the Nightshade's history. The group was founded to protect outcasts from oppression, tracing back to Gomez's ancestor, Goody Addams, the woman who killed Joseph Crackstone. Morticia finally reveals the truth about Garrett Gates. Gomez fought Garrett, but Morticia noticed him frothing at the mouth, consumed by rage. In self-defense, she grabbed the sword, and Garrett impaled himself. Gomez panicked, took the blame, and protected her. But Wednesday notices the foaming, dilated pupils, classic signs of nightshade poisoning. Together, they head to Jericho Cemetery. Wednesday digs up Garrett's grave, but they're caught by the deputy and thrown into a holding cell next to Gomez. Fortunately, Wednesday retrieves a severed finger tinged blue, evidence of nightshade poisoning. They realize Garrett was already dying from poison when Morticia stabbed him. Wednesday's vision reveals the full plot. Garrett's father had instructed him to poison the students at Nevermore. He carried a vial of nightshade, intending to spike the Raven Dance punch. During the scuffle with Gomez, it broke in his pocket, causing his foaming in apparent rage. After their release, Wednesday and Morticia bring the evidence to Mayor Walker. Using the finger as proof, they confront him about the cover-up. Walker admits his inaction protected reputations, but Morticia demands Gomez's release and a public apology. Walker complies. Meanwhile, Enid stands up to her mother, refusing the lycanthrope camp. When transformation comes, it will be on her own terms. As Parents' Weekend ends, Wednesday says farewell to her family. Morticia returns the Nevermore yearbook. Flipping through it, Wednesday discovers Principal Liss's deceit. She impersonated Judy Garland, and, more sinisterly, Rowan, to cover up his death. Before she can act, a fiery message appears on the lawn. Fire will rain. The following evening, Wednesday attempts a seance to contact her ancestor, Goody Addams, to harness her visions. Enid interrupts, but a note slips under the door. If you want answers, go to Crackstone's crypt at midnight. When they arrive, it's not danger but celebration. Thing had arranged a surprise birthday party, and Xavier even sculpted the cake himself. The pink balloon was Wednesday's subtle signature, floating gently as everyone sang happy birthday. Her eyes caught an inscription on the old altar. In Latin, fire will rain when I rise. The first half of the phrase had already scorched the school lawn. Touching the stone, a vision seized her. Goody Addams behind iron gates, warning of Crackstone's return. I cannot teach you, the spirit said. Mastering your powers is a path you must walk alone. She pointed to a mysterious mansion, warning that the road ahead would lead to isolation, trust broken, and solitude. Wednesday's only response, is that supposed to scare me? Goody's answer was chilling. It should. The next day, Wednesday began sketching the gates from her vision. Thing revealed a birthday gift her parents had left during Parents' Weekend. A massive suitcase filled with dead squirrels and tools for experiments. Enid handed her a black snood she had crocheted herself. In your signature colors. We can wear them together to class, she said. Wednesday smirked. Far too unique for class. Perhaps a funeral is more fitting. At Nevermore, Mayor Walker arrived to discuss the burned lawn. Principal Lissa suspected Lucas, but the mayor cleared him and assigned him community service. Wednesday examined the scorched message while Xavier approached. Who said I was ready to speak with you? She asked. You still think I'm the monster? He pressed. Haven't ruled it out, she replied. When you want my help, you know where to find me. Later, Bianca noticed a morning song bracelet on Lucas's wrist. He explained that Bianca's mother had persuaded him to join the cult and install their app. Bianca warned him to delete it, and Lucas, grateful, invited her to coffee. Meanwhile, Wednesday visited Eugene in the hospital. She admitted she used to love birthdays when her parents made them perfect, but now the celebrations felt empty. Dr. Valerie Kinbot stopped by with flowers, checking on him while his moms were away. Mayor Walker dug deeper into the past, discovering the suspicious death certificate of Garrett Gates' sister and reports of lights at the old Gates mansion. Tyler arrived, hoping to take Wednesday on a birthday date, but she brushed him off as usual. Sheriff Galpin arrived too, dismissing her warnings about the Latin phrase from Crackstone's crypt. Wednesday's reply was sharp. I don't bury hatchets, I sharpen them. Wednesday visited Xavier's art studio, showing him her sketch of the mansion gates. He revealed that the same ominous dreams plagued him, sensing the monster lurking in the shadows. Thing showed her a painting Xavier had made of her playing the cello, a reminder he couldn't forget her after the dance. Wednesday left silently, her mind already racing. Later, Bianca met Lucas at the coffee shop. He had removed the bracelet and deleted the app, and their heartfelt talk ended with her agreeing to return Enid's birthday gift to Wednesday. The next morning, Wednesday approached the Gates mansion to investigate but spotted Mayor Walker inside. While he called the sheriff, Wednesday and Thing quietly hid in the trunk of his car, following him to the cafe. As Walker crossed the street, a blue Cadillac struck him, sending him to the hospital. Back at Nevermore, the principal revoked Wednesday's town privileges for breaking rules. Undeterred, she called Tyler, pretending to change her birthday plans, a ruse to continue investigating. The sheriff warned Tyler to stay away from girls like Wednesday, hinting at the strain from his mother's passing. Wednesday tricked Enid into sneaking out for a birthday party redo. The two wore their matching snoods as Tyler picked them up. Xavier appeared at the window, noticing Thing typing on the typewriter, revealing the girl's destination. Finally, Wednesday, Enid, and Tyler arrived at the Gates mansion. Realizing too late that they had been tricked, they pressed on. The front door was locked. "Neither of us can open it," Tyler said. "Can I try?" Enid asked. "Oh, it's a werewolf thing," Wednesday replied, smirking. Inside the Gates mansion, the abandoned blue Cadillac hints at recent chaos. Wednesday insists, "We need to call Tyler's dad right now." Tyler groans, "So he can get me expelled?" Wednesday ignores him, her focus razor sharp. The mansion is eerily quiet but filled with clues. Wednesday and Enid split up. She goes upstairs, Enid explores left, Tyler stays below. Enid finds a perfectly maintained room with fresh flowers, while Wednesday uncovers a music box engraved with LG, Laurel Gates. Suddenly, Tyler screams. The monster emerges, chasing them into the basement where they discover its horrifying trophy stash, body parts of past victims. They flee, finding Tyler alive but badly injured, claw marks deep across his chest. Xavier appears to help, but Wednesday's suspicion grows. They rush Tyler home, only for Sheriff Galpin to forbid any further investigation, accusing Wednesday of putting lives at risk. Back at Nevermore, Principal Williams scolds Wednesday, but she stands her ground. She wasn't breaking rules for fun. She was trying to save her friends in the school. Alone, Wednesday opens the music box, revealing candid photos of herself. Someone has been watching her closely. Meanwhile, a shadowy figure enters Mayor Walker's ICU room and kills him, leaving the town in shock. At his funeral, Wednesday spots a shadowy figure at the edge of the woods and follows. She discovers Uncle Fester, hiding him in Eugene's beehive barn. Fester immediately identifies the monster as a hide and warns Wednesday it's dangerous. He tells her about Nathaniel Falmer, the school's founder, whose hidden diary in the Nightshade Library may hold secrets about monsters. Back in her dorm, Wednesday contemplates the monster and its connection to the Gates mansion. The silence is heavy without Enid's chatter, but Enid returns to retrieve some belongings. The two exchange teasing, passive jabs, masking the bond they still share despite everything. Wednesday knows the danger is far from over, and she begins preparing for the challenges ahead. Wednesday notices a subtle contrast in Enid's behavior. Giggles and text replace cello solos, and her growls and sleep reveal lingering hurt. Enid tells her she's moving in with Yoko permanently, leaving Wednesday visibly unsettled. That night, Wednesday sneaks into the Nightshade Library. The next morning, she tails Xavier with Fester on a stolen motorcycle, discovering his meeting with Dr. Kinbot. Convinced Kinbot is the hide's master using hypnosis to control Xavier, Wednesday considers reporting it but decides to observe further. Later, she meets Tyler at a coffee shop, sharing theories while the sheriff's presence forces Fester to vanish. Tyler asks Wednesday to make up for their previous interrupted date, setting up a crypt rendezvous. That night, Wednesday attends the date, complete with Tyler's old school projector and a surprisingly romantic effort. Their moment is interrupted when the sheriff bursts in, searching for Fester. Afterward, Wednesday returns to her dorm to find Falmer's diary stolen and Thing impaled. Fester uses his powers to revive him, and Wednesday's fury is palpable. She confronts Principal Lissa, learning the diary was always known and that hides were banned 30 years ago due to their unpredictability. The next day, Bianca and Lucas reveal clues about the mayor's death. Documents show Laurel Gates was never found after her supposed drowning, and the mansion's recent ownership points to Teresa L. Glau, an anagram of Laurel Gates. Wednesday deduces that Dr. Kinbot is actually Laurel seeking revenge. Confronting her at the hospital, Wednesday addresses her as Laurel, treating her as a suspect. Kinbot feigns confusion, but the conversation escalates. Soon after, the Hyde leaps from the bathroom and kills her. Later, Wednesday and Principal Lissa sit in the hospital waiting room as the sheriff confirms Kinbot is dead. Determined to close the case, Wednesday storms into Xavier's art studio, confronting him over suspicious behavior. The tension between them is raw, and Wednesday knows the hunt isn't over. Trust is scarce, danger is close, and the real puppeteer remains at large. Wednesday confronts Xavier about his sketches, particularly one depicting Dr. Kinbot's death. He insists it was just a dream, but then she uncovers hidden items in his studio: Rowan's inhaler, Eugene's glasses, and stalker photos of herself. Xavier is stunned. Somebody planted that stuff, he insists. The sheriff and deputies burst in, arresting him. "You framed me," he cries. Wednesday watches as justice seems to take its course. Wednesday finally kisses Tyler, but a violent vision slams her to the floor. She sees Dr. Kinbot in a pool of blood, and Tyler, bloody and shirtless, has just transformed back from his Hyde form. The truth hits hard. Xavier was innocent all along. Terrified, Wednesday flees, leaving a confused Tyler behind. Of course, the first boy I kissed would be a psychotic serial-killing monster, she mutters, resigned. The next night, Tyler arrives in the woods, expecting another date. Wednesday stops him cold, accusing him of being the Hyde and claiming that Dr. Kinbot had unlocked his transformation during therapy. Tyler protests, bewildered, but members of the Nightshades, Bianca and Yoko, emerge from the shadows to support Wednesday. Tyler finds himself chained, facing a harsh interrogation. Wednesday methodically recounts what she knows about his mother, revealing the dark legacy that led to his transformation. Pain, she explains, is the only way Hydes respond. Tyler protests, but Wednesday remains relentless, knowing the truth must come out. The next morning, Wednesday shares a bittersweet farewell with Enid, promising that the mark she left on her life is indelible. Eugene has finally woken, giving a glimmer of hope. She also warns Bianca and the Nightshades that Tyler is still out there, and something worse may follow. Miss Thornhill gives her a white oleander as a farewell gift, and Principal Williams allows her one last visit to Eugene in the hospital before she leaves. There, Wednesday finds him sitting up in bed, a quiet reminder of the lives she has fought to protect. Wednesday visits Eugene in the hospital, apologizing for being at the dance instead of with him in the cave. She takes responsibility for the events, insisting it should have been her lying in that bed. She tells him she believes Dr. Kinbot manipulated Tyler, but Eugene recalls seeing someone in black with red boots near the cave before the explosion. Wednesday realizes only Miss Thornhill fits that description and rushes back to Nevermore. In the greenhouse, she confronts Miss Thornhill, calling her Laurel Gates and exposing her as the mastermind. Laurel initially feigns ignorance but grows agitated under Wednesday's persistence. Tyler suddenly appears, confirming the story, and Wednesday lays out Laurel's manipulation, how she used Tyler to carry out her revenge. But in a shocking twist, the figure behind Wednesday morphs back into Principal Williams, who confronts Laurel. Laurel injects her with nightshade poison, killing the principal, then knocks Wednesday unconscious. Thing witnesses the attack. Eugene quickly contacts Enid, revealing the villain's identity, and together they rush to help. Enid and Ajax arrive at the Nightshade Library, and together the students evacuate Nevermore quietly using Bianca's siren powers. Wednesday transforms into a werewolf for the first time as she races to confront Crackstone. A brutal battle ensues. Tyler, transformed into the Hyde, nearly kills Enid but is stopped by the sheriff. Crackstone reaches the school, destroying everything, until Wednesday, Xavier, and Bianca manage to defeat him. Bianca plunges a blade into his back, allowing Wednesday to finish him off with a shard of her broken sword, burning him to ash. Laurel attempts a last attack but is overwhelmed by a swarm of bees, leaving Wednesday to knock her unconscious. Nevermore is finally safe. Enid and the evacuated students gather near the woods, and for the first time, Wednesday hugs her friend. Classes are canceled for the rest of the semester. Wednesday thanks Bianca for her help, promising a rematch in fencing next year. Upstairs, she reunites with Xavier, receiving a smartphone with his number as a parting gift. As Wednesday rides home in the family car, her new phone buzzes with photos and a message from an unknown sender, signaling that she's still being watched. Elsewhere, an armored truck carries a bound Tyler, who begins transforming into the Hyde once more. Nevermore is safe, for now. Subscribe to see what dark adventures await Wednesday next. Comment your thoughts, and beware the shadows.